What would be a holistic approach to life and business? Is it possible for them to weave together and complement one another? Why is this even important? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome, I'm Kim Marie, and this channel is all about supporting women to step into their most empowered self so they can live their most fulfilling life. So I want to talk today a bit about understanding what holistic living is about and what it means to take a holistic approach to things like life and business, and how we bring holism into business or our work, our vocation, and of course, balancing life and work holistically. These are the topics we want to dive into. So first, let's begin to understand what holistic living is about. Now, I've done a few other videos on this topic, and I talk about it frequently because I'm a firm believer that if we are going to become holistically empowered, we need to live more holistically and be more mindful of how we are empowered in all domains of our life, in all aspects of our being. So what I mean by that is, if we're living holistically, we are weaving in the way we live relative to, let's say, the food that we eat, the education we provide for our children, the home and the neighborhood that we live in, the work that we do, the community and maybe spiritual connections that we have. All of these weave together, and we want to ensure that we're feeling aligned with who we are and what we value in all of those domains. We also, of course, want to make sure that in all of those domains of life externally, we are finding balance internally and cohesion with our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects. There are all these different aspects of our being that we need to bring into coherence. And I even go so far as to say we need to also look at our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions and see, are they in coherence? That is the concept of bringing holism to what we do. That is what a holistic approach would look like, bringing these different aspects of our being and our life, weaving them together and being mindful of them and aware of them and noticing when something gets off kilter or is out of balance and needs attention. I want to highlight some of the benefits of a holistic approach, whether it's to life or business. In general, a holistic approach is going to keep that broad perspective. I have a free gift for you called my Balance and Empowerment Cards. You can download it with the link below. But holistic approach allows us to balance ourselves between extremes when we're navigating through life. I call it false power and false powerlessness. False power is when maybe we're posturing and trying to present ourselves in a way that makes us feel good because we're insecure or things like that. And then false powerlessness is when we are kind of collapsing and maybe feeling full of self-doubt and insecurity and fear and anxiety, and we are not able to function. Well, a holistic approach is aware of those extremes, allowing us to understand where we fit in the spectrum of those extremes and find a way to navigate in a healthy, balanced middle. We can do that with life and business. Like if in business you're finding that there are certain behaviors that you're seeing that represent kind of one extreme, and then there's this other aspect that you don't really want to go to, but you also don't want to be here. Understanding the different extremes helps you navigate and maybe move yourself more to the middle of where you want to be specifically. Even in the idea of a holistic approach to business, part of that is that we bring the concept of things like wellness, maybe even spirituality and soul work into our business life, our career life. So, for instance, maybe you take some daily breaks for a meditation break or a brief walk in the middle of the day to connect with nature, because that is weaving in the concept of other domains of your life and other aspects of your being into the business and work that you do. I know myself, I have struggled with those extremes of, success on the one hand, self-care on the other. How do I blend them together? How do I strive to make my business better and keep improving and keep serving my clients versus make sure that I'm taking really good care of myself, taking time out, rejuvenating, replenishing when I need to. And it's finding that dance and finding ways to weave things in together, whether it's through our scheduling or other methods, that really makes the difference in how we're able to show up with a holistic approach and allow ourselves to weave life and business together. Now, one of the biggest ways that we can weave life and business in a holistic approach and honor this concept of holistic living, honoring all domains of life, all aspects of our being, is to pay very, very close attention to our values. When we know what really matters to us, what we really care about, what everything means to us or doesn't mean to us, then we have a much easier time of creating a holistic approach. So for example, if you know that spending time with your children or your family or your partner is really important to you, that's something you value deeply. How does that weave in to your self-care practice or to your business efforts or to your career efforts? We need to think about those things and begin to weave them in. When we know what we value, we can literally ask ourselves every single day, did what I do take care of what I care about? That is such a powerful question. When we know what we value, which is what we care about, right? It's what matters to us. Then we can make sure that our actions and behaviors are aligned with those values in all domains of our life. If we value good health and we go out and eat 3 donuts with the group at work, then maybe we're not aligning with our values very well. But then we could say, well, but I also value my social time. Okay, how do you balance that? How do you weave those together and create something that feels more holistic and honoring all domains of your life so that one doesn't have to be completely sacrificed for the other? So for instance, you go out, you have maybe a cup of tea or coffee and a simple, gluten-free treat at the coffee shop instead of 3 donuts and, some kind of sugary latte or something along those lines, because then you can say, okay, I'm taking better care of my health, but I'm also honoring my social longing and values in that way. This is really powerful to ask yourself these questions. The balance and empowerment cards are going to help you see where you might get off balance, where you might be going to extremes, where you might be struggling. And the beauty of those is that they help you to see what you can do to counterbalance it. So be sure to download those. I hope this has helped you to find some interesting ideas and tips for holistic living and creating a more holistic approach to life and business. Let me know if you have questions. Be sure to subscribe and share and like, and I'll see you in the next video.